Come on, Broncos country, get on in here. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate the number one seed in the AFC and a bye week and a road to the Super Bowl and this victory that looks like right now, I don't know, 3-19. We'll go in, we'll get it all right now. Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. You're ready to get going. I know you are. I'm ready to go. Hopefully get all the horsemen in here as well. Hey, everybody, let's go right about now. Welcome in, everybody, to the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. Incomplete, they say, incomplete. And the Denver Broncos are holding on to the lead in an AFC battle that'll bring them the number one seed. I'm bringing in Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick. My name is Keith Brugman. And man, oh man, the Denver Broncos are sitting in the bird seat now, man, just waiting to see what pans out in the upcoming weeks. Kenny, I can't believe it. The game's about ready to wrap up. It's a 3-19 victory at this point. We'll see if the Chargers do anything more.
We're going to see if the Chargers do anything more. They haven't done anything the whole game. Defense showed up today. Offense might have been a little vanilla, but the hot fudge, the sprinkles, the caramel, the cherry on top, the defense did it all. Defense is what wins you championships, and this road to the Super Bowl has to go through 5280 up in Denver. Let's go Broncos. Got the one seed. Part A is done. Part 2 now, get to the Super Bowl. Part 3, win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Can you hear that 5280 stance, man? They're going nuts right now as the Broncos are looking to try to wrap this game up. But it's a victory nonetheless, man. It's regardless, man. We got only a few seconds on the clock, man, and looking to ice this victory, put it away. Kenny, you nailed it right off the bat. Ernie, though, is coming in and nailing it right now over there on YouTube. Ernie May, go Broncos country only. How does this sound? 14-3-0.
I want to give Ernie a shout out because I think when we did our preseason projections, Ernie was right there around 14-3, maybe 15-2. A lot of us had a 10-7, 11-6, maybe 12-5. I think Ernie was the closest. He might have had 14-3 or 15-2. If you remember, Ernie, what you projected, please let us know in the comments. But I'm pretty sure, hats off to you. You had this pretty much nailed over everybody else that I've on this show and other shows. I think you were the closest, if not spot on.
Certainly over the media, expected this Denver Broncos team to maybe come in third, maybe come in fourth in the AFC West. We wrap up the AFC West early. We wrap up the AFC number one seed, as I just saw the incomplete on fourth down. The Broncos will be coming out to kneel on the ball and take home the AFC number one seed with a 13-3. Goodness gracious, Kenny, with a 3-19 victory over the Chargers. Chargers came in, could not get it done. Keith comes in. Mr. Keith Stober comes on and says, "Good evening, horsemen." And Ernie's confirming. He says I was 14-3 from the very get.
I know, man. He was right there. Good job, Ernie. Congrats.
I was going to say 13-4 is what I thought it was in my mind for him, but I could be wrong. Broncos are taking the field the game is over, Kenny. The game is over. It's a 3-19 victory. What did you think about this game, man? I know that you had some thoughts around this game. We went pregame about what you thought this game should be. I had some thoughts about what this game should be, and I think that you prevailed in your prediction, I guess is the best way to put it.
It was what I expected. Sean Payton is a very smart coach, and he's not where he's at because of not being smart. He's been to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl. He knows what his strength of this team is, and it's defense. And you're going into this game with Trey Lance, who's been a complete bust so far, and a lot of backups, and for the Chargers. And he knew there were going to be a lot of backups on this offense. Let your defense run the show, get their confidence back, which they definitely did today, and allowing only 3 points and created a couple turnovers. And on the offensive side of the ball, I know some people are going to come in here and they're worried about the offense. I'm not. I alluded to you early, right before we went on, Keith. The 2001 Baltimore Ravens head coach Brian Billick. Before he was the head coach of the Ravens, he was an offensive guru coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings with Randy Moss, Dante Culpepper, Chris Carter. Got a head coaching job with the Ravens. He learned how to win with defense that year. And what did they do? They won the Super Bowl. Sean Payton's learning defense first, let the offense make a few plays, and we're going to go places. Don't win 35-7. You're not going to win games like that. You're going to win games like this, and good defenses, good teams find ways to win this way and different ways each week, which the Broncos have done all year. 14 times this year, I should say.
3 points, man. That doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen easily, even against second-string players. This defense did show up. They look different than they had in prior weeks. And Kenny, you nailed it. That's kind of what we need. I'm going to get to two things. A, I'm going to get to the POSSE members. And then B, I'm going to get to yet another horseman that's going to join the show. I'm going to hit Phil McLaughlin. Says, good afternoon, Keith and Kenny. Gotta say, not encouraged for the playoff if this offense can't get a touchdown. 0 touchdowns from this offense, Kenny. It was not easy to swallow for Mr. Phil McLaughlin, who's coming in here with 200 stars. He's not happy with the offense. The judge, I don't know how he feels about it, other than I'm sure he's excited for that #1 AFC seed. I'm sure he's happy about that one. Look at that grin. Not as big as the one when he witnessed victory himself at Mile High, but still pretty big. I'll bring you in, Jody, and welcome to the show. And I'm going to bring you right in to Phil's 200-star comment and or question. Are you encouraged for a playoff run with the performance that you saw from the offense today? If not, give me a reason why we should still be hopeful.
No, I'm not, but I don't think this is the offense you're going to see in the playoffs. I mean, it was as vanilla as can get. They didn't try to do anything. You could see they were trying to establish running the ball, the one deep shot to Ingram. That was it. Denver, I think they had 2 goals in this game. One, get the 1 seed, and 1, B, stay healthy, which they pretty much did. We'll see what the extent of PJ Locke is, but other than that, they stayed healthy. Bowles came back in. Forsythe came back in. And now you got a week. They did everything leading up to this game that I wanted. They didn't play Greenlaw, get him another basically 2.5 weeks of rest, get him healthy. They're going to be as healthy as they're going to get minus the guys that they placed on IR, and get ready to go. Why show anything to this team that you might play in the second round of the divisional round? Why show them anything? We showed them nothing other than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I agree with Phil. If you don't score touchdowns in the playoffs, you're not going to win. But you're not going to see this type of offense and play calling in the whole 9. I mean, in the playoffs. But if your defense gives up 3 points, you probably don't need to score a lot of touchdowns. So it might be you may not need to score touchdowns if your defense is giving up only 3. So
I agree, man. I agree. The defense looked awesome. I'd love to see Nick Bonito back there, Zach Allen back in there, Justin Sternad coming in there and taking the place for Dre Greenlaw look good. I'm a little concerned about PJ Locke. I'd like to see him back in there in the mix, but did fare pretty well without him, whether it be Abrams Drain or who else was back there? All of a sudden I'm forgetting.
Devon Keys.
Devon Key. Yes, Devon Key back in there.
If this is a lingering injury, how soon are you calling Justin Simmons?
I don't think I'd call Justin Simmons. I'd just be too worried about the time away from the practicing and the momentum that this team has. If it was a few weeks earlier, yes, I'm a big Justin Simmons fan. I'm going to hit this one for Kenny. Keith's coming in here and he says, "What are your thoughts, man? AFC has the number 1 and the number 2 defense in all of the NFL. Texans end up with the number 1. Broncos end up with the number 2 when it comes to total yards. What are you thinking about this AFC? Do they have a better chance than the NFC as we, obviously follow the next few weeks on the ride to the Super Bowl?"
This could be your AFC championship matchup in Denver. Wildcard team Texans, number 1 defense versus the number 2 defense. Defense is what wins championships, but I will say a team that's not on there, that's playing a lot of good defense now and for weeks now, the Jacksonville Jaguars might be right there with the Texans and Broncos when we're talking defenses. But don't be surprised, even though the Texans are a wild card team, Broncos, Texans for the AFC championship, Keith.
I will say on Jacksonville,
I love defense, and I think defense is what's going to get you there in January. So you're not going to win games 45-41. I'll tell you that right now.
We're going to find out how good Jacksonville defense is against the reigning MVP next week. So
you have it.
Buffalo's coming in there, so we're going to find out if they're for real, contenders or pretenders.
Boy, these next few weeks, especially this next week, as we sit back and watch it all happen, boy, it's going to be fun to watch and see who goes on to the next round. Mandy's coming in here and saying, number 1 seed, let's go. Got those orange and blue hearts. Mandy, love you so much. Thank you for coming in over here on YouTube, as well as young Tyrone, not on YouTube, but over on Facebook saying, let's go, number 1 seed, first round bye. Man, that's what we went into this game this Sunday wanting. I mean, I understand it, man. I came in here, I was predicting a 31-16 victory for the Denver Broncos. I really thought the Broncos were going to step it up to a different level. I thought that they wanted to prove something both as players on offense and as coaches on the offensive side of the ball. The Chargers have kind of had the Broncos numbers, so I was expecting a little bit bigger performance from the Broncos. Not to be had today, but nonetheless, man, what we wanted to do, what we needed to do was go in there and get that win at home, secure that number 1 seed, get that first round bye, and sit back, get healthy, and figure out exactly what happens after that, man, because I think we're all set to go. We're also set to go to get 4 horsemen on the screen. Can you imagine? Can you imagine 4 horsemen on the screen? I can. It's about ready to happen right now as we take off with the Rocket Man jumping on. Rocket Man, welcome to the podcast, Denver Bronco Roundup podcast, man. It's a Denver Broncos victory, a number 1 seed. Defense looked phenomenal. Broncos offense probably left a little out there to be desired. But want to get your thoughts around this game in general. And welcome to the show, my friend. It's been too long.
It has been too long, Keith, and I'm excited to be here with you guys and to celebrate another victory. I mean, it's being a constant this season, and that's a very good thing for the Denver Broncos and just finding ways to win. I mean, I'm not going to lie, in this game, not a whole lot to talk about, I mean, in my opinion. I mean, the offense is kind of I'll get into a little bit later, but the offense has been a little stagnant in my opinion the last 3 weeks. It's a little worrisome for me. I think this game just goes to show what this team has done all season long, and that's the defense stepping up and finding ways to, do their thing. And really, this team's been defensive led. And I understand there's some that there's not concern about the offense, but my thing is, it's been 3 weeks now. I feel like the offense hasn't played up to their standards, and that's why I'm concerned about that going into the playoffs. I would have preferred more of I wouldn't say like a complete blowout, like 50 points you need to score, but 30, 32 points, I would say, in this game would have been nice, because then you could use that time and to set the starters, and you can feel really good about your offense going into the playoffs. Now it's like, okay, we're limping along another game. It happened against the Chiefs as well. I'm being honest. It happened against the Chiefs. It's the same game for me, in my opinion, reminds me of that Chiefs game on Christmas Day. And so, you take a win however you take a win, but I think there's still some things on offense that need to be ironed out that I think hopefully this coaching staff takes seriously. And over the next week or so, they really nail all those things down. I mean, we still shouldn't be in this phase where Bo Nix is having to yell to the sideline, "Let's go," to try to get the play call in. I mean, that just can't happen in the playoffs. I mean, that's something you have to burn a timeout on. And it's still a repetitive thing that happens. And from a play calling standpoint, that can't happen. So defense steps up once again. I think the offense did enough. Still, I think a lot left to be on the table for this offense going forward.
Yeah, I'm going to push back a little bit. I really felt like that game, Christmas Day versus the Chiefs, was just a methodical, take the ball, take it out of their hands, play time of possession, get the victory. And I thought the offense did well, the defense did well in that game. This game, I'll give you a little bit. I thought the first 15 scripted plays, fantastic. 8-minute drive, go down the field. Didn't end up getting a touchdown, end up having to settle for a field goal, but really set the precedent from the very beginning and kind of set the standard of what we expected for the rest of the game. That being said, like I said, lots to be desired after those first 15 plays, that first 8-minute drive, whatever happened to be. Bo Nix looked fantastic coming out of the gate, and then it seemed like it started to fall away. Got a little bit better at the end, but I thought he could get a little bit better, or I thought he could have been a little bit better. And like Martin was saying, he says, "I'm not worried, but I wish Bo would have been a little bit sharper." I want to get to Karen. He's coming in here and says, "I am truly happy. More to go, though. Good evening, all. It's the number one seed. And Mr. Patrick Wiltsey coming in here. Got to hit him. Coming in over from Hawaii, saying, "Aloha, Horseman. Great win. Not showing any of our cards to move forward. Feels good." I'm gonna go back to I'll go back to Kenny, because he's been the longest one off there. But you're the one who talked about this first and foremost. And I know you and Jody are kind of on the same page. Vanilla, because it had to be. You're saving what you want to, the best for what's to come, right? Those next 3 games, like Ernie Mays was talking about, right? I got you on mute there, buddy. So you better unmute your mic.
While his mic's off, I will say I don't think it's vanilla because you had to be. It's vanilla because you could be. Because of what the Chargers
good words
did.
there, Jody. But we all see Sean Payton's playbook every week. It's probably bigger than any other offensive coordinator in football. Would we see 10 plays today? He's holding stuff back. Like Jody said, you didn't have to show. That game was never in doubt. When it was 3-0, Trey Lance wasn't moving that ball on that defense. The game was never in doubt because of the defense. No need, in my opinion, to go anything but vanilla in this game. Save it for the playoffs. Trevor alluded, been struggling a little bit. Well, you know what? You're going to see some new plays in the playoffs. You may see a trick play. We saw the trick plays a few weeks ago starting to come around. He's got some on that playbook he hasn't used yet. And you're going to see it in 2 weeks. I can guarantee it. And I can guarantee you're going to see a better offense in 2 weeks. Defense plays like this. I said it all year. You're going to go to the Super Bowl. You let your you let your quarterback be a game manager, make a few plays each week in the playoffs, and you're going to go to the Super Bowl. That's the recipe for success.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll go to you, Jody. I just want to say that Mandy's coming in here and saying not worried about Bo at all. Will be a different called game in the playoffs, alluding to just what you were talking about, Kenny. And then Mr. Patrick Wiltsey came in. I know that we talked about his comment a little bit earlier, but he comes in and just dropping some stars on the other side. Thank you for the 100 stars, Mr. Patrick Wiltsey. We appreciate it very, very much. I'll get to Paul on the other side of this and a lot of other comments that are coming in as well. My concern is this when it comes to the offense, Jody, and maybe you can distill my worries or my concerns when it comes to this. But the running game, I expect it to be a lot better today. And the running game is all about just the X's and O's, getting it taken care of up front. Doesn't matter if you're playing the second string. It doesn't mean if you're playing. It doesn't matter if you're playing your second string. It's all about just getting X's on O's and making sure you're getting those blocks and getting them downfield. Didn't see hardly anything from RJ Harvey, which it breaks my heart to say. Saw a little bit from Jaleel McLaughlin. Maybe Tyler Bidet got a little bit of love in there, but I mean, really, for all intents and purposes, the running game really didn't show any prominence in this game. Are you concerned about the running game going forward, even a game like this where you're trying to stay vanilla, Jody?
No, because it's been this way all year. I think there will be some changes. It's going to be interesting. I didn't really see they didn't really bring in that sixth lineman a lot. Do they go back to Alex Pacheski, or is it going to be Frank Crum? I'm glad that they finally have done away with the rotation and it's back to Ben Powers. And I'm going to be interested a couple other things. Is Dobbins going to be ready for divisional round? I mean, they said probably not on the TV, but he was at the game today. I've seen reports of that. He's been around practice all week, so he's getting close. And I mean, what's another 7 days? If you're that close, really, what's 7 days? Really, from divisional to championship week, if you're close, I have a feeling that he may play. Like we talked on Wednesday, pitched or snap count, third down, limited carry, some stuff, and then I want to see who gets the bulk of the carries. I mean, they started with Jaleel today, and he's probably been your best runner, hitting holes and different things. And if you get in a game where you might play Buffalo or somebody, and you're going to have to run the football, can he go to Jaleel and try? Who does he go with, or does he just keep bouncing back and forth? Those are the things I want to see. So I'm not really worried because, like Kenny and I both said, it was vanilla. There was just not a thing. Plus, you had two linemen out at the same during the game and some different. So I'm worried they'll be ready. Dobbins, and if Dobbins isn't ready, who gets the bulk of the carries is going to be interesting to me come playoff time.
A little bit of breakup on you on that, but I think we got every word that you wanted to say there, Jody, just letting you know. I wanted to hit Paul real quick. Paul's coming in and says, number one in the hood, G. Mile High Magic is back. I love that. He says, what's up, Posse? That's all of you in the comments. Dropping your thoughts. I want to get to just a couple more comments, but I'm going to get to Phil's again because he's coming all the way back around. And I'll probably go to Trevor on this one. Young Tyrone, though. Yeah, I did. That's the answer, Tyrone. Now I'll read your question. Did you see that hit PS2 put on the wide receiver on third down? Yeah, I did, man. That I was. It's probably a little loud for my neighbors in the apartment complex, I'll be completely honest, because I was all about that hit that PS2 put on. Textbook, man. Wrapped it up, third down. I mean, it was a thing of beauty. So, yeah, young Tyrone, I saw it. Phil's coming in, though. Says, hello, Rocket Man and Judge. And I'm going to put this to the Rocket Man. McLaughlin becoming the number one running back. Anyone concerned with Bo's play today? Figure this is a perfect one for you, my friend. What are your thoughts around the running back, and are you concerned about Bo's play today?
I mean, I don't think it's just on one guy. I mean, I don't think Sean Payton was the most sharpest today either. I mean, this offense couldn't get one touchdown against a backup defense. I mean, that's got to be a concern. For me, it has to be. And so, I mean, I wouldn't just put the blame on Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix, I don't think he's been the sharpest, but I don't think this offense has been the sharpest for a couple of weeks. So that's, I mean, if it's not your quarterback the sharpest, your offense isn't going to be sharp either. So, and your play caller. So, I mean, I think it's just offensively all the way around, and this team hasn't been very sharp over the last, like I say, it's 3 weeks, in my opinion. Ever since that Jacksonville game, this offense has not been the same, in my opinion. It's very much so a concern for me going forward. And then to answer Phil's question about the running back situation, I think you got to feed the hot hand. I mean, Jaleel McLaughlin was, I think, should have been fed the ball more today. This is where my concerns continue to go with the play calling, to using your personnel. If Jaleel McLaughlin's averaging 6.8 yards on the ground to RJ Harvey's 1.9, probably should start using Jaleel McLaughlin a little bit more on the ground and get that run game going a little bit more. You're going to need that into the playoffs. It can't just be about Bo Nix. It can't just be about passing the ball. You got to have a run game. We've talked about it multiple times. Love to have J.K. Dobbins back, but right now it doesn't seem like that's going to happen, at least not until you get closer to the Super Bowl, or as time goes on, I should say, throughout the playoffs. We'll see. We don't really have a great timeline on him right now, but I would say, Phil, I mean, got to feed the hot hand. If Jaleel McLaughlin's averaging more yards on the ground and he looks like the guy, roll with him. I mean, you can still give him time off the field and mix in a little bit of RJ Harvey and Tyler Bidet in there, but you need to feed the hot hand, and that's what it is with the playoffs. There is no more other game in the playoffs. You have that game, and you've got to be able to use that to your advantage. Sean Payton has got to do a much better job of making adjustments in game. When you're seeing a guy take over that backfield, you got to stick with him. You can't be playing things around and not going with that guy and going with a guy like RJ Harvey who just didn't have it seemed like today. So in-game adjustments is going to be very, very key going forward, and it's going to be, I think, a great challenge for this Broncos offense and Sean Payton going forward as we get into the playoffs.
It's funny you mentioned that, because I keep going back to that record 14-3 and going, well, how many mistakes have we actually made? I know that we want to feed the hot hand, et cetera, but it seems like Sean Payton has led this team to some victories and done it his way. I want to get to a couple of comments. First, Paul Shaver's talking again. What Kenny, bottom of the screen, Kenny and Jody have been talking about this slim down playbook. A lot of walking wounded out there as well. Ernie May is coming in and saying the 4 horsemen, awesome. The Giants also beat the pants off the Cowgirls, Kenny. And I'll wrap that right back into Martin's comment as well, because I know that you're going to celebrate that Giants win, even though your co-host might have wanted the better pick. You'll take the win over the Cowgirls.
I believe in tanking.
But Martin has been right after that, says, I knew Pat Bryant had some great hands, but I didn't know he had that kind of moves he showed this afternoon or tonight. Kenny, we talked a little bit pregame about Pat Bryant. We knew that he was going to be active. We thought that he might get a few catches. He was showcased early in that first 15 script, I guess, that Sean Payton had, and showed a few things out there.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about all the bad on the offense. Let's give it up for Pat Bryant. I mean, we just talked about it on the pregame show, Keith. Prayers were answered. We thought he was going to be out at least, not, for the remainder of this year, and maybe even next year with that horrific injury a couple weeks ago when they took him off the field and everybody was praying for him that night. So if anything, everybody, I know there's some people out there concerned. Trevor's concerned about the offense. Listen, Pat Bryant balled out today. Welcome back, and can't wait to see what he's going to do in the playoffs. And I'm going to answer the McLaughlin thing a little differently. I think you're going to see RJ Harvey featured in the playoffs. He's your big guy. He's your big playmaker out of the running backs. It wasn't that style of offense today. It was get the 4 or 5 yards. That's Jaleel McLaughlin. You want the 20 yards or break one for a touchdown. That's going to be RJ Harvey. You're going to see a lot more RJ Harvey in the playoffs over Jaleel McLaughlin, in my opinion, on Phil's question. But Pat Bryant, everybody's saying bad offensive performance, but no. Pat Bryant out there, that was enough I needed to see, just having him on the field.
Yeah, great to see Pat Bryant back out there performing, contributing to this offense, knowing that he's going to be a piece moving forward and that the injury shouldn't be a concern. Paul's coming in saying Forsythe and Bowles manned up, especially after they end up, especially Bowles, I would say, after he ended up going down. Forsythe goes down. They end up coming back in. That was fantastic to see. Martin saying we ran well in the opening drive. And then Mr. Slade himself, man, Slade Sports, David Slade coming in here and saying concerning that we could not muster one offensive touchdown. Vanilla game plan or not, we have to execute. Jody, I'm going to give you another opportunity to defend your territory here on the vanilla game plan. Concerning or not, vanilla or not one offensive touchdown is that concerning going up against this Los Angeles Chargers team who came in down guys like Derwin James and other pieces on the back end of their defense. Shouldn't we be able to muster up one touchdown in this game concerning?
I will agree that vanilla or not, you need to execute, but you could see from the very beginning that this was like a preseason game, and once they got the lead and once they got it to double digits, you could tell that they took the foot off the gas. They didn't really care. They weren't going full throttle. So for me, you have to put context with it. If this was the first round of the playoffs and you're not scoring touchdowns, then yeah, that's a problem. But we seen what this was. Once you got the lead, it was about staying healthy and getting this clock to zeros. And I take, you have to understand, Denver was resting guys too. I mean, they were resting Greenlaw. You're down 3 starters on defense. They rested Greenlaw. They rested John Franklin Myers. Brandon Jones is out. PJ Locke was out most of the game. You're down your starting center. You're down Dobbins. So you're down guys as well. So it's not like Denver was full throttle or full 100%, and they weren't. I mean, you just got to take it in context. If, like I said, if this was the playoffs and this is what you got, then I'm very disappointed, and there's a lot of concern with Sean Payton moving forward, calling plays. But we knew what this was. The goal was to win this game. And it didn't really matter if it was 3-0 or 100-0. You need to win this game, get the 1 seed, and all the benefits of having home field advantage.
This is the debate this evening, man. I'm telling you what, there's people on either side saying, hey, man, we just need to go out there. We need to get the victory. Vanilla, that's fine. That's the playbook that we were running. But go ahead, man.
Can I help settle this maybe? If in 2 weeks we play like garbage, then maybe it probably wasn't the right idea to not perform and whatever. But if you come out and you put 28 and whoever you play and you win, even a Packers type game, and it's like that, then it probably was the right idea. I guess we won't know for 2 weeks, but what we do know is you pretty much came out of this healthy, and I don't think PJ Locks is – I don't – if he's back, then you came out of this as healthy as you could, and we'll see. I guess just how it plays out in 2 weeks, I guess.
All right. I'm going to say hello to Pearl.
To one thing real quick.
Oh, I just wanted to say hello to Pearl just really quick and say hello, Pearl, because she's an amazing sponsor of our show, and we love her a lot. And then I'm going to turn it back right over to Kenny. And what do you got, buddy?
I want one last thing on this offensive performance. We're talking about a Chargers team. Even though they had backups on defense, this is one heck of a good defense that Jesse Minter's running over there. Okay, I'm just going to give you some teams that they faced this year and how many points they gave up. Minnesota, 10. Steelers, 10. Raiders, 14. Eagles, 19. At Kansas City with Mahomes, 13. Cowboys at Dallas, 17. That high-powered offense. Texans last week, 16. And the Broncos today, 3. So we're not talking about a defense that's given up. We're not talking about the Cowboys defense that's given up 35 a game. We're talking about a legit defense run by Jesse Minter over there in the Chargers. With a vanilla offense, he had a game plan, and they stuck to their game plan. And, you know, we knew Trey Lance wasn't going to do anything. And, again, Sean Payton didn't need to show anything today. So we'll see in 2 weeks. Dave's a really good cook, chef out there in Colorado. There's a delicacy, Rocky Mountain oysters. I will go to a butcher shop and find Rocky Mountain oysters and have Rocky Mountain oysters if that Broncos offense does not show up in 2 weeks and put up a touchdown. Okay, I will guarantee at least 2 touchdowns from the Broncos offense. Not 1, 2. I'll guarantee 2 touchdowns, or I will have something on screen here for everybody in a couple weeks.
You better not show that on screen. I don't think that's family appropriate. But I'm going to go. You took your time. I might have to skip around you a little bit now, Kenny, because you decided to jump in on me there and make your case. And I understand your case. Now I'm going to go to Trevor. It was his next time in the turn here. He says, you don't play a preseason type of game plan with the number 1 seed on the line. It's funny because we came in pregame, we started talking because Bo Nix started talking about that this was a playoff-like game. This was a playoff-like game. Are you concerned then that they didn't have a playoff-like performance, or do you truly believe that this was held back by a Sean Payton game plan that kept it fairly basic, fairly simple, even though the number 1 seed was on the line? I have a hard time believing that you wouldn't want to go after that number 1 seed. Are we on the same page, Trevor?
I mean, I think so. I do think Sean Payton's game plan, it was clear throughout the game, was very conservative, and that's what bugs me. I mean, again, you have the number 1 seed on the line. Just push the ball down the field. I mean, you don't even have to show your whole playbook to do that. I mean, I feel like you're not asking for much. I mean, more than 19 points, and you didn't get 1 offensive touchdown at all throughout this whole game. And I know Jesse Minter's defense is very good, but I mean, your starters for the most part on offense are out there on the field. I mean, this is the best practice you can get is in game, and that's the thing. I mean, you can't practice this, next week or this coming week when it's just in regular practice. This is the best practice you're going to get is in game, and this is your last shot to do that before the playoffs. I mean, I'm not saying show your whole playbook, but I'm just saying, can we move the football a little bit more and stop being so dang conservative? I mean, it just feels like, I mean, it'd be one thing if it's just one game over the last 3 weeks, but it's been 3 weeks in a row. I mean, it's like it's a consecutive pattern. And my thing is, those habits could be hard to break at times when you are so conservative on the offense side of the ball. That's a concern for me going into the playoffs because it's not the first time the Sean Payton's offense has been either conservative or just have not shown up. That's another reason why I'm concerned about it going into the playoffs. Because here's the thing: if the defense don't get that pick 6, where's this game at? You got to ask yourself that. 12-3. I mean, it's still in
the playbook up.
It's still in the exactly. I mean, you don't have to open it up even that much, but it's 12-3 game, and you're even giving the Chargers a chance to even sniff around in this game. It's ridiculous. I mean, you don't need to. You just go out on a high note, start resting your starters into the fourth quarter, get these guys off their feet a little bit more. You're less risk of injuries of any of these guys, and you're going into the playoffs on a high note from an offensive standpoint. You know what your defense is going to do every week, game in, game out. They come out and they ball out for the most part. It's your offense there's needs more work, in my opinion. You have to execute. I agree with David Slade on this one, and I mean, again, need to see more. I mean, it's a concern until it's not a concern, and so I just need to see it going to the playoffs. That's going to be a big challenge for this offense going to the playoffs, and for Sean Payton is the playoffs. This is the challenge. Wasn't today's game. It's going to the playoffs. What is he going to throw at opposing defensive coordinators? Because defensive coordinators have probably studied Sean Payton for a long time now, and they have a lot of film on him in this offense. So, going to be interesting to see how this offense performs in the playoffs, but need to be much better than they were today, certainly.
All right. I want you all starting to, and great point. I think I'm more on point with Trevor, a little bit more with Dave than I am with Kenny and Jody, but hey, to each their own. Believe me, the posse, they're about split 50-50. I want more. We did what we needed to do. One of the two. You know what I mean? So,
can I add
Jody?
one thing? If you're on the side of Trevor or David, that pick 6 was probably the worst thing you wanted to see because it put us up 2 scores quick, and it allotted Denver's offense not to have to do anything.
I agree.
I
agree.
So if you're on their side, you probably wanted Herbert to play, and there were people that I heard on national talk shows that said they wanted the Chargers at full strength, so you had to go in and, put your best foot forward. I wasn't on that train, but there were people that said that. So I agree with the fact, you want more touchdowns and you should be able to put a touchdown up, but it's also like you had a handful of plays and it was to do it against the team that's running, their defense still. So I guess that's my only thing with it.
Fair enough. I think we're going to have to agree to disagree on some of these things. But like I said, formulate some of your final thoughts. I'm going to start with Kenny Kirkpatrick here in a moment, but I got to blow through some comments like Clayton coming in here, joining the show a few minutes ago, saying, hey, guys, always reminded me to tell you all to smash the like and share button, man. I'm telling you what, man. Kenny Kirkpatrick says it best, man. Cost you $0. Cost you 0 pennies right now. If you're over there on Facebook or on YouTube, you can give us a little thumbs up on the way in, on the way out, because I tell you what, man, let's go. Like Clayton says, let's go. This Denver Broncos team, the support we have for them, the coverage that we've been trying to give to you guys. We appreciate y'all coming in here and supporting us through all of it. Pearl's coming and saying not a great game, but a win is a win. Taking that vanilla offense and riding it home. Clayton's coming in saying home field advantage. Let's go. Playing it safe. Love it. And don't want to show everything. So he's all good with that as well. Phil McLaughlin says, what bothers me about Bo is that since the break, he doesn't have much touch or great accuracy on his throws, even today, touch would have gotten us a touchdown. And then the receiver had to turn around and to catch that deep throw. I thought there was a couple opportunities. I think it was Mims or Franklin in the corner of the end zone, followed right by RJ Harvey in the flat. A couple of opportunities there for Bo to turn 3 points into 7 points, in my opinion, and miss those opportunities. Boy, you all are killing me with these comments. Lots of comments. The playbook was protected. Our wideouts protected our wideouts, says Glenn Ashley. And Glenn, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you coming in here. He says, don't be surprised. Peyton is stubborn. It was hard to watch. He stuck to his guns. No deep passes, no post routes, no Harvey outside the numbers. It was just all about of that vanilla playbook, and Glenn's happy with that. Not showing everything that we had in our arsenal, and maybe going to the playoffs with a few more bullets to go after those playoff teams, whoever we end up matching up against. No offense is a concern with a JV squad, says our good friend Pastor Josh. Thank you, Pastor, coming in here, being a part of the show. And you're sharing the concern with the top half of the screen, and you're not sharing the concern with the bottom half of the screen. I'll just tell you that right now, since you're coming in a little bit.
I have a quick question. How many people were they sitting on defense, like starter-wise? Does anyone know off the top? I know Derwin James and Khalil Mack.
And so when Phillips out there,
and they had another corner that sat, I believe, as well. So
3 guys. So when people say the JV team, they had 8 of 11 starters out there. This is exactly what you had. I'm just putting it in perspective.
Martin saying 4, so maybe 7 out of the 11 out there were starters. What a game, says Young Tyrone. You watched, they blitzed the whole game. Agreed. I think this defense was super aggressive. VJ and Peyton maybe called 2 different games, because VJ seemed like he had it dialed up, especially the later it went in the game. All right, held you off long enough. I'm gonna go around the horn. Final thoughts. First, I'm gonna go to Kenny Kirkpatrick. First one in. First one back on the screen, giving me some comments, my friend.
I'll give you some final comments. First of all, congratulations, Bronco fans. 14-3. Everybody should be on the same page, clapping it like Jody, wherever you are, whether you think the offense was vanilla or not, and think your concerns, clap it up. You got the 1 seed. You got the bye in the AFC, for crying out loud. 14-3, and we're doing a lot of complaining. I will say this. For those that are concerned about the Broncos offense, need to be concerned about these 3 teams going in the playoffs. Need to be concerned about the Texans defense. That number 1 defense almost lost to Riley Leonard, Jody's old quarterback at Notre Dame today. We need to be worried about the 49ers, who put up only 3 points against Seattle's defense at home yesterday, going for the 1 seed. And we also got to be concerned about Seattle Seahawks offense, who only put 13 points up on backups because 49ers have been playing with backups all year. So we got to be concerned about all 3 of those teams if we're concerned about the Bronco fans. So there's a lot of concerns all around. What I'm trying to say is don't be concerned. I think we're overlooking this. I'm going to convert people over next week or 2 weeks from now when you see the Broncos put up 27-31 in their playoff game at home. That's going to be my bold prediction right now. 27-31 points, offensive performance. There'll be that many points in in the divisional playoffs. Broncos against the Chargers or whoever they play. They're going to light it up, and everybody will be on the same page and not be concerned with this offense anymore. Go Broncos.
Ready to host
be the deep run, Jody. Me and Jody and Trevor Horseman and the posse. 5280 is where it's going through this year. And they're going to have to beat you in 5280 altitude. So let's go Broncos. Get to the Super Bowl. Congratulations on the 1 seed. First part A is over. Part B, Super Bowl. Part 3, trophy.
Jody, I'll go to you next, my friend. Next one on the screen. Next one in the comments. Final thoughts. What do you got, man?
Let's just put it in perspective from where this team was 3 years ago, ending with Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson overweight and talking about having his own office and all that garbage to where we are now. You're still eating 30-some million on Russ's dead cap hit, and you're the 1 seed. You were projected 9.5 wins. You have the tied for the best record in football. You arguably have the best defense. I mean, we're talking, 15 yards difference between Houston and Denver. That they both have incredible defenses. And you put yourself in a position in a wide open AFC this year. No Mahomes, possibly no Jackson, no Burrows, that you can go win this. It's as open as can be. And you have a coach that's been there, done that, won a lot of playoff games. So, be excited. You're well ahead of schedule and enjoy it. You got no football, no Broncos next week. Get as healthy as you can. And hopefully everyone shows up for this playoff game because I want it loud there. And I've seen what a loud game is like. You can hear it on the TV when it gets loud. It affects. I mean, the Chargers call a timeout, the third play of the game, I think. It affects them. And I expect some little things. I expect Denver to run them. I mean, run some up-tempo and let this altitude gas people. So, I mean, I'm excited for this run. We're ahead of schedule, and if this is when you got to do it, when Bo Nix is on a rookie contract. So, I'm excited.
Excited for where
and
we're at.
Congrats on, 2 of 3 goals accomplished so far. The highest seed possible, and you won the AFC West for the first time in 10 years. So, enjoy it and work on some things and get ready for the playoffs.
Boy, Jody's working on getting Sean Payton on the podcast, giving him congratulations on his goals, man. Feeling good about his vanilla offense. Glenn Ashley is in here. He's also one of those guys that predicted 14-3 in an early preseason prediction.
Nice.
And
I'll give Ernie and Glenn a salute for that.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Hats off to you, man. Hats off. And hats off to Trevor making the podcast, last one to the pod. But it's okay, buddy. We enjoy every moment we had from you. Heck, even Pearl even called you out and said, welcome, Trevor. Can't wait. So excited to see you, man. I can't wait to hear your final thoughts on this podcast, though, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know that most of the show, I've been, I don't know where Keith went, but I've been.
Jody's going too. What's going on here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Give me 5 minutes. Go. Okay, go.
Jody,
as I was saying, sorry, Keith. As I was saying,
sorry,
technical difficulties as I was getting my final thoughts in. But
as many distractions as possible.
Exactly. No, I mean, I know that for the most of the show, this post game show, I've said, there's my concerns, but at the end of the day, I mean, again, this team this Broncos team is 14-3. You found a way to get to this point. I mean, I think it just goes to show how special this defense is, and again, enjoy this defense while you can, because if this defense continues to go on the run that they're going on, Vance Joseph has got to get a head coaching job this offseason. So enjoy this defense while you can. But I mean, again, 14-3, you can't beat that. I mean, this Broncos team certainly outdone my expectations of this season. I guess here's my final point to this is we're going to see here when the Broncos play their first playoff game how, from our perspectives, as like, was Sean Payton being too conservative? Is it a Sean Payton problem, or were we overlooking it? And this offense is back on track again. We'll find out come first playoff game that the Denver Broncos play. But I mean, again, enjoy this. I mean, enjoy it, because in the NFL, it's no game's an easy win, no matter what. And this Broncos team, they've really figured out ways to win this year. However, the game goes, if it's some, one of those rare blowouts, or it's still been those close games all season long. I think the biggest, kind of breakaway that I want to, or takeaway, I should say, that I want to, point out is from last year's, this team knows how to close out games a lot better than they did a year ago. And I think that's something to point out. And I think that's credit to Sean Payton. Again, I'm not all against Sean Payton. Some things on offense just drives me crazy with him sometimes. But I mean, I think that Sean Payton, the head coach, has done a great job with this team, getting this team back to where they need to go. And I mean, Broncos country, you guys should be happy and excited. And look forward to football here in a couple of weeks and get to watch the Denver Broncos play at home. I think home field advantage is going to be huge for this Broncos team. Really, that's being in Denver and playing in Denver, that's really one of the biggest home field advantages in all sports, and just in all football, just in general. So looking forward to seeing playoff games back in Denver. The atmosphere, you can't beat it. So Broncos country, enjoy this one. I know I was a little bit harsh on the Broncos, and again, I'm just going to tell you how I kind of see it. But looking forward to seeing the Broncos play here in a couple weeks, and looking forward to break it down. Hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend. And enjoy football going forward, and be safe out there. As always, go Broncos.
Got that mile-high salute. Young Tyrone says, I'm not concerned. Nix is the man. 14-3, let's go. It just reminds me, man. And Ernie Mays also coming in here and saying 24 wins now for our second-year quarterback, Bo Nix, racking them up at record pace. Sometimes I think it's easy to get critical about this team. This team has went out there and absolutely turn the page. I mean, this is a team that I don't think we expected to be here. I think that we should give more credit to how they do it and what they've accomplished so far. This team is only a few years ago when we started covering this team. It was rough. It was rough. And now you get to come in here week after week talking about victories, talking about an AFC West championship, talking about a number one seed in the AFC. And man, I'll tell you what, it doesn't get much better than this, man. Enjoy it while you can. Enjoy it for every moment that you have it. I love this team. I love all our horsemen, and probably more importantly, all the posse members that have come along for the ride through all the tough years and through this fantastic year as well, man. Jody, looks like you hit the mic one more time. One final thought. Can I break in with one more thing? Is that what you got for me?
Yeah, I was just going to comment on Paulson. I tried my darndest to keep him on this roster and did all I could. Good for New Orleans. They, we've been picking up a lot of guys from New Orleans that castaways. Hopefully this is a castaway at Denver's that produces there. So good on New Orleans and bad on Sean Payton.
Like to keep them all, man, but we'll keep all the wins that the Denver Broncos have piled up this season, and we'll continue to pile up. Again, go out there, wear that orange and blue with pride. It's a number one seed. It's the AFC West Championship. It's 2 goals on Sean Payton's list. We'll get him on the podcast one of these days. And that being said, man, a lot of things to be smiling, a lot of things to be happy about. We'll have a full slate of podcasts coming up around the corner, man, whether it be the Juice, the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast, whether it be pre or post game shows. We're along for the entire ride. Can't wait to have you all along for it. I promise we'll get notifications out on all those podcasts right around the corner. But that being said, we do need to get out of here this evening. Go out there, enjoy the weekend, enjoy this number 1 seed, enjoy your Broncos being on top of the AFC. But we'll get out of here like we always do. Boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters, of course. Denver Broncos right there in your heart. Until next episode, we're out of here. Have a great night, everybody. Good night.